Yo, what's up guys? Welcome in! Asuka is a fighter pilot with light ST type license and she is considered one of the best fighters in the game. If you don't care about the meta, she can function as a rider, similar to Kaidan. Thanks to her code skills and light ST license, Asuka can reach enemies from long range, giving her excellent mobility and positioning. We'll talk about the current meta and the future meta perspective. Curious? Let's go. Each EVA pilot has SR bar, which represent their unique sync rate mechanic. As the SR bar fills, the pilot becomes stronger. For Asuka, our goal is to reach around 85% SR on the turn 1. This threshold is important because it's required to activate neural drives. 50% when Asuka is deployed, 10% if Asuka is A3 or above, random per attack when she destroys a target. Take a note, destroying 1, 2 or 3 enemies in line AoE attack still grants only the same random amount if you only destroy one target. Because Asuka gained +5 at the start of the next turn, not when she is deployed, we want Asuka to attack at least 3 times on the turn 1 to reach 85% threshold that is needed for neural drives. Once Asuka deals damage and doesn't take damage, she gains a buff for her next attack, count as a separate buff. Please remember this when we discuss modules and accessories. A3 Asuka provides additional SR or deployment, extra damage when there are 3 or more enemies within 2 tiles. Recommended modules: leg and body connectors, Malthus, Ranger, Kong, Arma connectors, pole arm damage or crit. Why Malthus? This will be my build on Asuka release. Of course, it will change over time as a new content and modules are introduced. I have seen some players say that Malthus is bad. This is recommendation list, meaning in focus on the best option at release, and some choices are better than others. If you don't like Malthus or can afford it, use Ranger instead. If you cannot afford Ranger, go with pole arm, crit rate and crit damage. These are currently the cheapest and still very effective alternatives. How about this? I'll explain in detail why Malthus performs so well and good in the future. In the end, you decide whether it fits your playstyle and budget. This will be one of the strongest near-future module combination for Asuka. In this setup, your previous Malthus, originally used on the body and leg connectors, can be moved to arm connectors, or you can give to Mary or another pilot. Shadow Rabbit will take the body and leg connectors. Why this combo works so well? As we know, each Malthus buff is counted as a separate buff. Shadow Rabbit increase damage for each active buff, up to 30%. So Malthus will help you maintain buffs, even though it isn't must for Shadow Rabbit modules. This bonus is independent of enemy HP. In short, this means permanent uptime, 30% damage buff. Not only that, new meta accessories from Arm Conquest number 13 need active buffs to trigger. This will be top tier trigger accessories for most DPS pilot. You only need 3 buffs. Buffs are easy to maintain, trigger chance is very high, and you are independent of enemy condition. That's why this combo is strong and consistent. Now, if you are running Mari plus Malthus setup and want to transfer buffs to Asuka, then Malthus modules are bad. Keep Shadow Rabbit, move the other two modules to ARM connectors. Your produced Malthus can go to Mary or another pilot. But some stages has no time to cast AoE from Mary turn 1. Keep in mind, Asuka won't be only one needed for fast clears. You can transfer Malthus buff to Kelly or Frida or other future pilots. Why I don't like producing Ranger buff? Ranger only give 20% and isn't future proof. From meta perspective, it would be replaced very quickly by better modules. Now, Shadow Rabbit contra Ouroboros. Shadow Rabbit can be replaced by Ouroboros, and we don't need Malthus as a secondary modules. Ouroboros give 30% damage even on the first attack, but with condition. After second attack or third attack, the boss body HP usually isn't the highest anymore, which means you lose 12% damage. That's why I don't like Ouroboros for Asuka. Still, it's valid and good option. That's my opinion. Choose what fits your budget and playstyle. Malthus modules aren't just for Asuka. Great for Mary, Fia, Rosemary, strong for AoE focused pilots, easy to reuse. If you can afford, produce 2 Malthus modules. They won't be waste. Ranger, on the other hand, will fall off much faster. So, which modules are better to produce? I'll leave that decision to you. Weapon accessories. These are the current option. This will be my bolt on release. Not absolute the best, but the best what we have right now. Because trigger rates are low, I recommend running 2 trigger accessories early on to ensure buff activate as fast as possible. Remember those trigger accessories? They are coming soon in Clarence Ops 13. This accessory is top tier and will stay meta for a long time, not just for Asuka, but for most DPS pilots. Once we get it, we can switch to 1 trigger accessory. And if you ever get the W version in the future, GG, it's even better, completely OP. It's 33% for normal version and 40% with W version. We can even reach 100% trigger chance for 0.1 damage multiplayer. If we only get the normal version, that's still good. And the best part, this accessory only requires 3 buffs. That's why it's amazing synergy with Shadow Rabbit, one of the few best future combos. But like we said, there will be others too. Asuka ST review. Total modules 4. Important note, these modules cannot be produced. Once obtained, this ST is permanently locked in your inventory. 2 modules, double effect on body and leg connectors, and other 2 bonus damage and hit rate per AP consume, up to 10%. Rainbow set, no alias within 2 tiles, because this is limited ST and never had to run on CN. If you plan to pull Asuka, make sure to get at least 2 ST and max level them to complete Rainbow set. Best current weapons, Catherine signature weapon and re-attack backpack. Asuka neural drives overview. We recommend spending 5 bindings, as Asuka will remain strong for a long time in PvE, and choose sector 2. 1 CP extra sync, 7 CP extra AP after destroying target, 10 CP 15% final damage, 13 CP quality of life, extra sync when dealing damage, no decrease when taking damage, 16 CP AP regen +1 if sync is at least 85%, That's why turn 1 strategy. Aim to destroy at least 3 targets in 3 separate attacks. This helps her trigger extra AP when she starts action again. Final thoughts, should you pull Asuka? Yes, absolutely. PvE. Asuka will be strong for a long time and remains a very safe PvE investment. What about PvP? From future perspective, she is not top tier for PvP. That said, most global players don't care about PvP, so this won't matter for many. Will skipping Asuka break your account? No. I play on CN with Asuka and Rosa until today and was completely fine. Some stages before getting Ada were tougher, sure, but nothing impossible. If your clears take 1, maybe 2 more turns that guide videos, that's normal and totally okay. Skipping Asuka will not break your account, but the game will feel harder until Anis or Ada arrive. What about Anis contra Asuka? PvP, Anis is much better. PvE, not really big gap. If you have seen what Shawnee can cheese, you can imagine Asuka potential. Aim for 550 pulls, to max Shinji. Shinji is a solid medium sniper. To Asuka ST, minimum to Rainbow. A3 Asuka is enough for most PvE content. If you haven't seen Shinji in action, he can re-attack twice without breaking parts. Think of him as a budget carry. Very strong for fast clears. That's all from me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Ask any question as always, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye bye!